Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have for you today block number 2 of my 9-patch sampler quilt along, and this block is called the double X. So if you would like to know how to make this block, just stay tuned. So for this quilt block, you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric. One of the fabrics you choose will be your background, and the other one you choose will be your main fabric. From your main fabric, you need to cut out 3 squares measuring 4.5 by 4.5 inches and 3 squares measuring 5.5 by 5.5 inches. And from your background fabric, you're going to cut 3 squares measuring 5.5 by 5.5 inches. Once all your squares are cut, you're going to take your 5.5 inch squares from your main fabric as well as your background. You're going to place them with the right sides together, and you're going to draw a diagonal line on the back of the fabric using a pencil or whatever marking tool that you have. So after you've drawn your line, just take your pins and you're going to pin on each side of that line that you just drew, and you're going to repeat this process for the next 2 pairs of blocks. Alright, once that is done, you're going to take your 3 blocks that you've just drawn your line on, take it to your sewing machine, and you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance down each side of your drawn line. When you're done at the sewing machine, make sure you clip off any loose threads that you have, and you'll need your rotary cutter and your ruler, and you're going to cut on the pencil line. Just be sure not to cross over and cut your stitches that you just drew. Alright, once you're done, you're going to need a 4.5 inch ruler to square up your blocks. Once everything is squared up, you're going to take your half square triangles as well as your 4.5 by 4.5 inch squares from your main fabric, and you're going to lay it out in the following pattern. Once done, you're going to take the first 2 pieces on the top row, lay them right sides together with your edges lined up. You're going to pin it into place, and then you're going to sew down the side with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then you're going to add on the 3rd piece from that row and repeat the same process for the next 2 rows. Once all of your rows are sewn together, you're just going to give it a nice good starch. And then if you need to, you can square up your block to 12.5 by 12.5 inch square. Now if you follow along with this quilt block, be sure to post the picture of your block on my Instagram at jaylencarmen.com, and I will see you October the 15th for block number 3. Until next time, happy quilting!